So Brian Gutekunst just held his first press conference in a very long time, and he had a few different things to discuss. One of the, I think, most interesting things from this press conference was his thoughts on Jordan Love and the fact that right now, he said he's already seen enough from Jordan Love to make the decision when it comes to what he wants to do about exercising or not exercising Jordan Love's fifth-year option, which he will have to do this offseason. So I want to take a look at a few different things from this press conference, give my thoughts. If you guys are new here, you want to see more Packers content, feel free to subscribe. I also have a Packers newsletter. I dropped something there this morning. If you'd like to read it, you'd like to subscribe to that and see all my Packers stuff I send out, it will get delivered directly to your email. So you can sign up by clicking the link down below. So first off here, let me show you one of the first tweets here. I had my document up, it disappeared, but I will get it up right now. Okay, so first off here from Ryan Wood, sort of covering the press conference. He says this: Brian Gutekunst, if he wants Aaron Rodgers to be the Packers QB next season, he says it'll be an off-season decision for the spring. Surely, yeah, we want all our guys back. He also added that the Packers made a commitment this offseason, and it certainly was for more than 1 year, basically stating, yes, of course, we want Rodgers back. We gave him that big contract, so that's sort of seemingly what the plan was when they signed him to that contract. And there was, I think the first couple minutes for some reason weren't live posted by the Packers. I don't know what happened there, but it seemed to start after he just talked a little bit. But earlier this morning, I made a video on this that Aaron Rodgers did say yesterday when asked about Christian Watson and if he would be a factor when it comes to making his decision this offseason whether to, return to Green Bay or not. Rodgers went through it. I discussed it all earlier. But he said basically yes. But he also said the desires have to be basically mutual for him to return to Green Bay, which had me asking the question, okay, does this mean Rodgers doesn't think that the Packers will want him to come back even if he wants to come back? So that sort of perplexed me. And one of the reporters asked Brian Gutekunst, what do you think about that? Like, why did he say that? And then Gutekunst basically said, you should ask him that. He said he basically didn't know. You should ask him that question. So I don't know what Rodgers meant by that, but it seems to me like Brian Gutekunst does hope to have Rodgers back next season. But at the same time, he was giving lots of praise to Jordan Love. And so here is one tweet. Brian Gutekunst on Jordan Love. He said this: I think quarterbacks got to get into this league, play a bunch of games before they can learn how to win. But I do think we feel very confident that Jordan can move the ball, score points, and do the things that we ask of our quarterbacks. He was then asked by a reporter, do you see Jordan Love as a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL? And he basically said, yes, the Packers 100% do see that. He also went on to mention, as I said earlier, that he's already seen enough to make his decision on whether or not to exercise Jordan Love's fifth-year option. Because there has been some conversation with the Packers now sitting at 5-8, only having 4 games left. Would the Packers need to see Jordan Love more to make that decision, see him start some more before they want to decide if they want to exercise the fifth-year option? Brian Gutekunst basically saying no, and he also said that they're, going to do everything in their power to win, even if they have been eliminated from the playoffs, because it's a culture thing in Green Bay. So they're not just going to try to start throwing in Jordan Love just because they haven't made the playoffs. And he said that the Packers always, want to win every game, regardless of, how necessarily meaningful it is, if they are eliminated from the playoffs. So I think you should go watch the Brian Gutekunst interview yourself as well, because you'll sort of get the full grasp of, it's like 15 or 20 minutes long, and they'll probably put it out on the Packers site soon. But I think if you watch that, you'll sort of see, it sounds to me from the way, from the quote I showed you, from how he was discussing Jordan Love, Brian Gutekunst, in my personal opinion, really thinks that Jordan Love has lots of potential. And there has been some question over the past few seasons, how good is he? Did the Packers waste a first-round draft pick? And I think the fact that Brian Gutekunst drafted him in the first round, the Packers have held on to him this long, almost through three seasons. I just see I really don't think there's a chance that he doesn't eventually start for the Packers, which then makes you wonder, okay, when would he start for the Packers? And of course, after this year, it's the end of Jordan Love's third year. They have to decide, exercise a fifth-year option or not. Personally, I think they will. Gutekunst said he's seen enough, so he's probably already made his decision. I think he's going to, based on his comments on how much he seems to love Jordan Love, which would then mean next season would be Jordan Love's 4th year on his rookie contract. The next season, 2024, would be his 5th year, which would be around a $20 million. Love would get about $20 million by the Packers exercising that fifth-year option for that fifth year in 2024, which makes me wonder, okay, Gutekunst first, he said, yes, we signed Rodgers to a multi-year extension. Basically, it wasn't just for 1 year. So if Rodgers wants to return, it seems to me like Gutekunst would say, he wants him to as well. At least that's what he's saying. Could he be thinking something else? That's possible. We don't know what he's thinking. Of course, you wouldn't assume that he would come out and give all of his cards. He probably keeps lots of things to himself. But he's at least saying the Packers want Rodgers back in 2023. So then, if he's saying Jordan Love is a very good quarterback, personally, I think he's going to exercise the option. If not, okay, but it seems to me like he will. And then at that point, okay, it's like, okay, if Love option is exercised, then that means after 2023, I don't see how the Packers could have both Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love on the roster because of Rodgers, cap hit and all that kind of stuff. You're then paying Jordan Love $20 million. That's a lot of money piled up in the quarterback position. So that it makes me think that Love is going to start sometime soon in Green Bay. I don't know when that's going to be. Rodgers his comment today about the desire for me to return needs to be mutual makes me think maybe it's not fully, in Gutekunst's plan to bring back Rodgers, but he said it is. So I don't exactly know everything that's happening, but it is interesting to sort of hear what Brian Gutekunst has to say. He clearly has very, very much hope in Jordan Love. So I thought that press conference was very interesting. There were definitely some other things he talked about as well. That was probably the biggest takeaways I had from that about Jordan Love, about Rodgers in the future here in Green Bay. So if you guys do want to be signed up to my Packers newsletter, anytime I write something, it will get delivered directly to your inbox. So if you want to sign up for that, feel free to click the link down below, and then you should be able to enter your email and be signed up for that. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.